Right, this part very important. This is a based on conceptual framework. Based on new syllabus, you have to use those are the definition. Main objective of general purpose financial reports. Provide the financial information about the reporting entity that is useful to existing and potential investors, lenders, and other creditors. 2020 A-roll paper MCQ also they ask this part. You have to keep it in mind. Then think about revised definition of assets. Present economic resource controlled by the entity as a result of past events. That is a definition based on new syllabus. Asset is a present economic resource controlled by the entity as a result of past events. And liability is a present obligation of the entity to transfer an economic resource as a result of past events. Present obligation of the entity to transfer an economic resource as a result of past events. Think about income and expense definition. Increase in assets or decrease in liability that result in increase in equity other than additional capital, other than those relating to contribution from holders of equity, other than additional capital. Increase in assets or decrease in liability that result in increase in equity, it is called income. Think about revaluation profit. As a result of asset increase, equity increase as a result of asset increase. Think about discount receipts. Equity increase as a result of decrease in liability. Definition of income and definition of expense. Decrease in assets or increase in liability that result in decrease in equity. Equity decrease as a result of decrease in assets or increase in liability, it is called expense other than drawings. It is given other than those relating to distribution to holders of equity claim. It means other than drawings. Right now, I am going to discuss example relevant for ratio analysis. Think about example relevant for ratio analysis. Think about question number second one. Question number second one relevant for ratio analysis part. There are 5 types of ratios we have discussed on the level. Profitability ratios and liquidity ratios as well as leverage ratio. You have to know how to calculate ratios as well as based on answer, you have to know how to take decision. මෙන්න මේ පාඩමෙන් තමයි decision ගන්න විදිය අපි discuss කරන්නේ. Think about economy is information system. We are going to provide information to the interest party to take decision of the business. Therefore, stakeholders, when stakeholders going to take decision, they have to use ratios. Based on rupee value cannot be take decision. දැන් අපිට company දෙකක් compare කරලා රුපියල් ගාන දිහා බලලා අපිට කියන්න බෑ එක කම්පැනියක් අනිත් කම්පැනියට වඩා හොඳයි කියලා. ඒකනම් profit එක වැඩියෙන් තිබුණාට එහෙම කියන්න බෑ. Therefore, ratio should be calculated. Ratio analysis. Think question number second one relevant for profitability ratios. Profitability. Ability to generate profit can be measured by using those kind of ratios. Think question number second one. It has given information for the year end 31st March 20 and for the year end 31st March 21. Following information of the Saman PLC. Think what for the year end 31st March 20 and 21. This is the 31st March 21 and this is the 31st March 20. Again, opening and closing or previous year closing balance and this year closing balance. දැන් ඔයාලට බලන්න පුළුවන් ගිය අවුරුද්දට සාපේක්ෂව බලනකොට මේ අවුරුද්දේ මොකද්ද තත්ත්වය? business එක හොඳද නැද්ද? And given sales, cost of sales, gross profit, then operating expense deduct, then profit before tax can be calculated minus income tax equal profit for the year. But when compare with 2020 and 21, රුපියල් ගාන දිහා බලපුවම වැඩි වෙලා තියෙන බලන්න. ඒක දිහා බලලා අපිට කියන්න බෑ business එක හොඳ නැද්ද කියලා. And given financial position also for the year as at 31st March 21 and 31st March 20. Opening closing balance. Previous year closing balance as well as this year closing balance. Non-current assets, current assets, and ordinary share capital, reserves, as well as long-term loan. Right now, think about get the answers for the question for the year end 31st March 21 as well as at 31st March 20. Yes, there are 2 year periods. We are going to compare with last year and this year. අපි දැන් බලන්න යන්නේ ගිය අවුරුද්දට සාපේක්ෂව මොකද්ද මේ අවුරුද්දේ තත්ත්වය. First one, there's gross profit ratio. Second one, net profit ratio. And next one, return on asset ratio. As well as last one, return on equity ratio. That first one, write the equation also. Then they ask for 2 year period. Prepare the working for that. Write the ratio also. All the profitability ratio. All the profitability ratio you have to calculate as a percentage. All the profitability ratio as a percentage should be disclosed. Write the ratio also. Then they ask answer for 2 year periods. Therefore, for answers, prepare 2 columns. Gross profit ratio, net profit ratio. They ask for the year end 31st March 20 and 21. For the year end 31st March 2020, as well as for the year end 31st March 21. First one, they ask gross profit ratio. Gross profit divided by sales into 100. Write the equation. Gross profit divided by sales. Gross profit divided by sales into 100. Think about sensitivity analysis also. As a result of each and every transaction, think what is effect for gross profit ratio. That calculator can be used. Gross profit divided by sales into 100. Think about for the year end 31st March 20, gross profit equal 80,000 and sales equal 200,000. Take the answers. Gross profit equal 80,000 divided by sales equal 200,000 into 100 as a percentage. Take the answer as a percentage. Therefore, gross profit ratio can be calculated. Gross profit එක sales වලින් කොච්චරද කියන එක. Therefore, 80,000 divided by 200 into 100. Therefore, here value equal 40%. Answer should be disclosed as a percentage. Think about for the year end 31st March 20. And think about for the year end 31st March 21, gross profit equal 300,000 and sales equal 50,000. Think about gross profit ratio. About රුපියල් වලින් බලනකොට 31st March 21 වල වැඩි profit එක. හැබැයි අපිට කියන්න බෑ මේ අවුරුද්දට වඩා මේ අවුරුද්ද හොඳයි කියලා එහෙම කියන්න බෑ. By comparing rupee value cannot be take distance. Therefore, you have to calculate ratios. Think about for the year in 31st March 21, gross profit equal 300,000 and divided by sales equal 500,000 into 100. Take the answers. Gross profit ratio into 100, therefore value equal 300,000 divided by 500,000 into 100. Gross profit divided by sales into 100 equal gross profit ratio. Therefore, here value equal 60%. එනබලන්න 31st March 21 කියන එක හොඳයි බලන්න. හොඳද නැද්ද කියලා අපි decide කරනකොට profitability එක පැත්තෙන් you have to higher ratio. Profitability වැඩි එක තමයි හොඳ business එක. Profitable ratio එක වැඩි නම් profitability එකත් වැඩි. Gross profit divided by sales into 100. When compare with for the year in 31st March 2020, 21 periods, profitability is higher. Profitability means ability to generate profit. Profitability means ability to generate profit. Then try to calculate next one, net profit ratio. At the same time, think about sensitivity analysis. Again, sales වැඩි වුණොත් gross profit ratio මොකද වෙන්නේ? Gross profit එක වෙනස් වුණොත්, inventory වෙනස් වුණොත්, sales වෙනස් වුණොත්, අන්න ඒක හිතන්න ඕන බලන්න. Think what is effect for gross profit ratio, net profit ratio. Right, think about net profit ratio for the year end 31st March 21 as well as 20. Net profit also given. Profit for the year equal net profit. Profit for the year equal net profit. Therefore, net profit ratio, net profit divided by sales. Net profit divided by sales into 100. Net profit divided by sales into 100. That is a net profit ratio. Calculate value for the year in 31st March 20 as well as 21. Net profit equal for the year in 31st March 20, rupees 20,000. Net profit එක sales වලින් කොච්චරද කියන එක. Net profit divided by sales. Sales equal to 1,000 and into percentage. Therefore, net profit divided by sales into 100 equal 10%. Net profit ratio. For increased profitability, all the ratios should be increased. Ratio එක වැඩි නම් profitability එකත් වැඩි. And calculate for the year in 31st March 21. Net profit equal 150,000 and sales equal 500,000. Therefore, net profit divided by sales into 100. Therefore, net profit ratio 150,000 divided by 500 into 100. Here will be equal to 30%. Think what when compare with for the 2020, 21 profitability is higher. Ability to generate profit එක වැඩි. And return on asset ratio, return on assets. Equation should be written. Return on asset ratio equal profit for the year. Profit for the year divided by profit for the year plus interest. Profit for the year mean profit after tax. Profit for the year mean profit after tax. Profit after tax plus interest divided by total assets. Profit for the year mean profit after tax divided by total assets. Divide by total assets. Into 100. Think about equation. Profit for the year. It is equal profit after tax plus interest divided by total assets into 100. Profitability ratio. Profit for the year equal profit after tax. Then try to calculate for the year end 31st March 20 and 21 period. Profit for the year equal 20,000 and total asset it has not given clearly. Total asset, current assets and non-current assets. Total will be equal total assets. And profit for the year equal 20,000 divided by total assets. Total asset equal current assets plus non-current assets. Total asset equal 100,000 into 100. Profit for the year divided by total assets. So profit for the year plus interest. Profit for the year plus interest. Interest how to calculate? It has given long-term loan, 20% long-term loan. Based on that value, loan interest can be calculated. Think about here loan interest equal 25,000 into 20%. 25,000 into 20% equal loan interest 5,000. And for the year end 31st March 21 loan interest equal, think about here loan will be equal 150,000. Therefore 150,000 into 20%. Therefore loan interest equal 30,000. Think how to calculate loan interest. Based on loan, 20% should be calculated. Therefore, for the year end 31st March 21, loan interest equal 150,000 into 20%. 150,000 into 20%. Therefore, value equal 30,000. Then profit before tax plus interest divided by total assets. Total asset equal current assets minus non-current assets plus non-current assets. Think about for the year end 31st March 20 and 21. For the year end 31st March 20, profit for the year equal 20,000 plus interest equal 5,000. Interest equal 5,000. Then divided by total asset into 100. Take the answer. As a percentage, profit for the year it is equal profit after tax plus interest divided by total assets. Calculate for the year end 31st March 20 as well as 21. All the profitability ratios should be disclosed as a percentage. Therefore, here 25,000 divided by 100 into 100. Therefore, here value also equal 25%. Think how to calculate return on asset ratio. Profit after tax, it is equal profit for the year. Then calculate for the year end 31st March 21 also. Interest calculated, it is equal 30,000. Profit for the year equal 150,000. Profit for the year plus interest divided by total assets. Therefore, total asset equal current assets plus non-current assets. 400,000 plus 100,000. Total value equal 500,000. Then into 100, disclose as a percentage. Therefore, 150,000 plus interest. Interest also not given clearly, but long-term loan is given. Therefore, based on accrual concepts, as expense you have to consider for the year value. 150,000 plus 30,000 divided by total assets into 100. Therefore, here return on asset ratio equal 36%. All the profitability ratios should be calculated as a percentage. Think about gross profit ratio, net profit ratio, as well as return on asset ratio. It has given information for 2-year period. Given information for 2 years period. And last one they ask return on equity ratio. Think how to calculate return on equity ratio. Return on equity ratio equal profit for the year divided by equity capital. Profit for the year divided by equity capital. Write the equation. Given information for 2-year periods and write the equation also. Return on equity ratio equal profit for the year divided by equity capital into 100. Profit for the year means profit after tax. Profit for the year divided by equity capital. Total equity profit after tax divided by total equity into 100. All the profitability ratio you have to present as a percentage. Take the answers for the year end 31st March 20 as well as 21. Total equity equal ordinary shares and reserves. Take the total value. Ordinary shares and reserves. First one, try to calculate total equity. This is total equity. Here total value. This one plus think about ordinary shares, reverse and reserves, as well as long-term. No, ordinary shares and reserves. As equity, you have to consider ordinary shares and reserves. This is equity. And for the year end 31st March 21 also same way. Think about total equity. Ordinary shares as well as reserves. Profit after tax available income statement. That is a profit for the year. Calculate answers. All the profitability ratio you have to disclose as a percentage. Therefore, return on equity ratio. Return on equity ratio. Calculate for the year end 31st March 20. Profit for the year equal 20,000. Profit for the year equal 20,000. Divided by total equity. Equity equal ordinary shares and reserves. Therefore, equity equal 80,000 into 100 as a percentage. Profit for the year divided by equity. Take the answers. 20,000 divided by 8,000 into 100. Therefore, here answer equal to 25%. Like that, try to calculate for the year end 31st March 21 also. Profit for the year, it is equal profit after tax. Therefore, profit after tax equal 150,000 for the year end 31st March 21. Profitability we are going to measure. 150,000 divided by total equity equal 375,000. Ordinary shares and reserves 375,000 into 100. Profit for the year divided by total equity into 100. Therefore, return on equity ratio equal 40%. Think when compare with 2020 and think about 21 periods. 20 වලට වඩා 21 හොඳ දෙනවද කියලා බලන්න. Based on rupee value cannot be take decision. But this is the way you have to take decision based on their financial statement. Ratio should be calculated. This is the profitability ratio. Profitability means ability to generate profit. Next one. Think what those are profitability ratios. For increased profitability, all the ratios should be increased. May ratios වැඩි වෙන profitability එකත් වැඩි business එක. Next one. Think question number next one. 13 relevant for liquidity ratios. Question number third one relevant for liquidity ratios. Current ratio as well as quick ratio there's both year 2020 as well as 21 can be calculated for the year in 31st March 20 as well as for the year in 31st March 21. Right, prepare the format. First one thing about current ratio and second one quick ratio. Prepare the working for that. Current ratio as well as quick ratio. First one, write the equation also. Current ratio and quick ratio can be calculated by using two equations. Two ways can be present. First one thing about current ratio. Current ratio as well as quick asset ratio. Quick asset ratio and current asset ratio. Right. First one, think about equation. Current ratio equal current assets divided by current liability. Current ratio can be disclosed. First one, current assets divided by current liability. Current assets divided by current liability. Or it can be disclosed like this also. Current asset is to current liability. Current assets is to current liability also can be disclosed. Take the answers for the year in 31st March 20 as well as 21. For the year in 31st March 20 as well as 21. 31st March 2020 as well as 31st March 2021. Ratio analysis. Take the total amount of current assets. Inventory, trade debtor, prepaid expense as well as cash and cash equivalents, part of current assets. First one, take the total value. Current assets, inventory, trade debtor, prepaid expense, and cash equivalents. Those are the current assets. And current liability, trade creditor, as well as accrual expense. 31st March 21 also same way. First one, try to calculate current assets and current liability. Take the total value. Current assets total might equal 40,000, 18,000, 10,000, 12,000. Therefore, here total might equal 80,000. And current liability equal 20,000. And calculate for the year end 31st March 21 also. Take the total value 100,000 and current liability equal 20,000. Current assets divided by current liability, that is current ratio. If it is good business, current ratio should be 2 or 2:1. Again, current liability wage double තියෙනුන current assets. සාමාන්‍ය හොඳ business එක. Right, calculate for the year end 31st March 21 as well as 20. Current assets equal 8,000. Take the answers now. Current assets equal 80,000 divided by current liability 20,000. Therefore, current ratio equal 4 times. එකන current liability වගේ 4 ගුණයක් current assets තියෙනවා. As think about when we are going to consider the liquidity side, it is good. හැබැයි ඕනට වඩා සල්ලි ළඟ තියෙන එකත් එච්චර හොඳ දෙයක් නෙවෙයි. current ratio හොඳ business එක නම් මෙතන 2 වෙන්න ඕන. 2 වලට වඩා වැඩියෙන් තියෙනවා කියන්නේ liquidity එක හොඳයි. ඒ කියන්නේ short term liability ඉඳ settle කරන්න පුළුවන් අපිට. හැබැයි profitability එක නැහැ. මොකද අතේ සල්ලි තිබ්බට සල්ලි generate වෙන්නේ නැහැ බලන්න. future economic benefits අපිට හම්බෙන්නේ non current assets වල දැම්මොත්. Therefore, in the liquidity point of view, it is good. But profitability point of view, liquidity කියන්නේ අතේ ගොඩක් සල්ලි තිබුණාට benefit අපිට හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ. If it is good business, normally too, and it can be present as a even 80,000 is to 20,000. Therefore, this answer can be disclosed like this also, 4:1 or 4 times. And calculate for the year end 31st March 21 also. Current assets divided by current liability. Current assets equal 100,000 and current liability equal 20,000. Therefore, current ratio equal 5 times. Current ratio equal 5 times. Again, current liability wage 5 ගුණයක් current assets තියෙනවා. It can be disclosed 5:1 also. It can be disclosed 5:1. If it is good business, current ratio should be equal to. Then liquidity පැත්තෙන් බලනකොට current ratio වැඩි වෙන එක හොඳයි. ඒ කියන්නේ අතේ සල්ලි ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. current assets වල ගොඩක් සල්ලි දාලා තිබ්බට future economic benefit generate වෙන්නේ නැහැ. future economic benefit generate වෙන්නේ non current assets වල තිබුණොත්. ඒතර liquidity වැඩි කියන්නේ profitability පැත්තෙන් බැලුවොත් එම අඩුයි. අතේ සල්ලි තිබ්බට අනාගතේ profit එක generate වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Then calculate quick asset ratio. Quick asset ratio equal quick asset divided by current liability. Quick asset divided by current liability. Therefore, quick assets divided by current liability. Or quick asset is to current liability. quick asset is to current liability. Calculate quick asset ratio. Quick asset mean current assets excluding inventory and prepaid expense. Think what in this example, quick asset equal current assets 8,000. But inventory and prepaid expense not relevant for quick assets. Therefore, as a quick asset, you have to consider trade receivable as well as cash and cash equivalents. Those are the values should be considered as a quick assets. Current assets minus inventory minus prepaid expense හොයන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඒ නැත්නම් කෙලින්ම ඒ දෙක නැතුව අනිත් එකේ totally ගන්නවා. Important. Think what quick asset equal 18,000 plus 12,000. 30,000. That is a quick assets. Quick assets. It can be calculated current assets minus inventory minus prepaid expense also. Think quick asset like this also can be calculated. 80,000 current assets. From that value deduct inventory. Inventory equal 40,000 as well as deduct prepaid expense. Prepaid expense equal 10,000. Think how to calculate quick assets. Therefore, quick asset equal same value 30,000. Quick asset mean current assets excluding inventory and prepaid expense. Therefore, think how to calculate quick asset also. And calculate for the year in 31st March 21 also. We know current assets minus inventory minus prepaid expense, or think how to calculate quick assets. Therefore, quick assets equal, think about current assets excluding inventory and prepaid expense. Inventory not part of quick assets, but think about trade debtor 15,000 as well as cash and cash equivalents 5,000. Therefore, quick asset equal 20,000. Or it can be calculated current assets minus inventory minus prepaid expense also. Try to calculate like that also. Quick assets equal current assets equal 100,000. From that value deduct inventory 70,000 and prepaid expense deduct 10,000. Therefore, quick asset equal 20,000. Think how to calculate quick assets. Current assets minus inventory minus prepaid expense, or excluding inventory and prepaid expense can be calculated quick assets. Now think about quick asset ratio. This is the quick assets. Then think about quick asset ratio. Think how to calculate quick assets. This part very important. Current assets minus inventory minus prepaid expense, or current assets excluding inventory and prepaid expense. Now calculate value for the year in 31st March 21. Think about 20. Quick asset equal 30,000 divided by current liability. Therefore, 30 divided by current liability equal 20,000. Therefore, answer equal, if it is good business, it should be 1:1. But here 1.5 times. Current liability වගේ මෙච්චර ගුණයක් තියෙනවා බලන්න. And it can be disclosed 1.5 times is to 1. Current liability එකක් වෙනකොට current assets මෙච්චරක් තියෙනවා. And calculate for the year in 31st March 21 also. Quick asset equal 20,000 and current liability also 20,000. Therefore, quick assets 20,000 divided by 20,000. Therefore, 20,000 divided by 20,000 equal 1 times. If it is good business, quick ratio should be equal 1. Again, current liability will equal pramana quick asset. Think how to calculate quick assets. It is not include inventory and prepaid expense. For increased liquidity, current ratio and quick ratio should be increased. Ratio ku වැඩි වෙන liquidity ku වැඩි. Liquidity mean ability to settle short-term liability. Next one, third one. Think about ratio analysis. Third one, think about third one, 11 for leverage ratio. Question number third one, 11 for leverage ratio. It has given information for the year in 31st March 20 as well as 21. Ratio analysis. Given ordinary shares, stated capital 20 per share, and reversion reserves, bank loan, and current liability. There's profit before tax equal 40% of each year. From the equity, profit before tax of each year was 40% of equity. Therefore, profit before tax is given from profit before tax 40%. From equity 40% equal profit before tax. Think about equity, ordinary shares, and reserves. Based on that value, profit before tax can be calculated. Profit before tax equal 40%. Then think about requirements. Total asset can be calculated. Total equity, think about ordinary shares and reserves. This is ordinary shares as well as reserves equal equity. And profit before tax, we have to calculate based on profit before tax 40%. Based on equity 40%. Right, try to calculate profit before tax for the year in 31st March 20 as well as 21. Profit before tax should be calculated. This lesson also very important. Profit before tax. First one, try to calculate for the year in 31st March 21. For the year in 31st March 20, total equity equal 100,000. Based on that value 40%. 100,000 into 40% equal profit before tax equal 40,000. And calculate for the year in 31st March 21 also. Profit before tax for the year in 31st March 21. For the year in 31st March 21, equity equal 250,000. Based on that value 40%. Think it has not given profit before tax, but it is equal 40% of equity. Therefore, for the year end 31st March 21, profit before tax equal 100,000. Right now, think what's calculate equity capital for each year they ask. Write the answers. Calculate equity capital each year. Equity capital includes ordinary shares and reserves. Therefore, recommend 1. Equity for the year end 31st March 21. for the year end 31st March 21 as well as 20. For the year end 31st March 21, 180,000 plus 70,000, 108,000 plus 70,000. Ordinary shares and reserves equal equity. Then calculate for the year end 31st March 2020. It is given here 30th March 2020. 30th March 2020. They ask calculate equity capital. Equity capital equal ordinary shares and reserves. Therefore, ordinary shares it has given 70,000 plus reserves equal 30,000. Therefore, total value equal 100,000. Equity capital ordinary shares and reserves. Next one, calculate total capital each year. Think about total capital include debt capital as well as equity capital. Debt capital equal long-term loan. As a debt capital, you have to calculate non-current liability. In this example, it has given only bank loan. That is a value should be considered as a debt capital. They ask calculate total capital each year. Therefore, total capital equal debt capital plus equity capital. Equity capital calculated already. Therefore, total capital equal debt capital plus equity capital. Debt capital plus equity capital. Debt capital plus equity capital equal total capital. Try to calculate for the year end 31st March 20 as well as 21. First one, think about for the year end 30th March 2020. First one, think about 21. Debt capital calculated, debt capital equal long-term loan and equity capital calculated. Think how to calculate total capital for the year end 31st March 21. Debt capital loan balance equal 30,000, so 50,000, and equity capital equal 250,000. Ordinary shares and reserves equal equity capital. Debt capital equal long-term loan. Therefore, think about total capital. And calculate for the year end 30th March 2020 also. 30th March 2020. Debt capital loan value equal 50,000 both year. And equity capital ordinary shares and reserves. Equity capital ordinary shares and reserves equal 100,000. Take the answers. Equity capital as well as debt capital, it total value equal total capital. Therefore, total capital equal 150,000. Total capital include debt capital as well as equity capital. Debt capital means long-term loan and debentures directly non-current liability. Non-current liability, that is a debt capital. Now calculate the percentage of debt capital from total capital. It is called debt ratio. Debt ratio means debt capital divided by total capital into 100. They ask calculate the percentage of debt capital from total capital. It is called debt ratio. Therefore, debt ratio equal debt capital divided by total capital. Debt capital divided by total capital into 100. Debt capital divided by total capital into 100. Debt ratio. Take the answers. They ask calculate the percentage of debt capital from total capital for each year. First one, think about for the year in 31st March 21. They ask 30th March 2021. Debt capital equal debt capital 50,000 and total capital equal 300,000. It has calculated 30th March 2021. Calculate debt ratio. Debt capital divided by total capital into 100. Debt capital divided by total capital into 100. Debt capital equal non-current liability. Equity capital equal ordinary shares and reserves. Calculate for the year end 31st March 21. Debt capital equal 50,000 and divided by total capital equal 300. Total capital includes 300,000 as a percentage. Yes, as a percentage. Therefore, here also multiply by 100 as a percentage. Debt ratio. Take the answers. Ratio analysis lesson 13. Equation you have to keep in mind. Debt capital divided by total capital into 100. Therefore, here 16.67%. And calculate for the year in 31st March 2020 also. th March 2020. Take the answers. Debt capital equal for the year in 31st March 20, 50,000. Debt capital equal 50,000 divided by total capital equal ordinary shares and reserves as well as long-term loan. Total equity equal total capital equal 150,000 into 100. Take the answers. Value equal 33.3%. Think about how to calculate debt ratio. Relationship between debt capital and total capital. Total capital include both debt capital and equity capital. Next one, there's percentage debt capital as ratio. Present the debt capital as a ratio of equity capital. It is called debt equity ratio. Calculate debt equity ratio. Debt capital divided by equity capital. Normal debt equity ratio should not be calculated as a percentage. But debt ratio we have disclosed as a percentage. Calculate debt equity ratio. Debt equity ratio equal debt capital divided by equity capital. debt capital divided by equity capital, not as a percentage. Percent debt ratio, debt capital as a ratio of equity capital. Therefore, debt capital divided by equity capital. Debt capital divided by equity capital. Debt capital divided by equity capital equal debt equity ratio. We have to calculate both 2020 and 21 period. Calculate debt equity ratio. First one, calculate 30th March 2021. Debt capital divided by equity capital into one. Debt capital divided by equity capital only. Try to calculate debt ratio. Both 20 and 21 periods. Debt capital equal 50,000, but equity capital equal 250,000. For the year end 31st March 21, debt capital 50,000 divided by equity capital equal 250,000. Take the answers. 50,000 divided by 250 equals 0.2 times equity capital wage 0.2 times available debt capital. Calculate for the year in 31st March 20 also. 30th March 2020. Debt capital, it has given only bank loan 50,000 and divided by equity capital. Equity capital mean ordinary shares and reserves equal 100,000. Think about debt equity ratio. 50,000 divided by 100,000 equal 0.5 times. equity capital වගේ debt capital මෙච්චරක් තියෙනවා. මෙන්න මේ ratio එක එකට වඩා වැඩි වෙන එක හොඳ නෑ. එකට වඩා අඩු වෙන තියෙන එක තමයි හොඳ. ඒ කියන්නේ debt capital එක equity capital වලට වඩා වැඩි වෙන එක එච්චර හොඳ දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. සාමාන්‍ය business එකේ debt capital එක තියෙනවනේ equity capital වලට අඩුයි. Debt equity ratio. Normally bank එකක් loan දෙනකොට බලන්න ඔන්න ඔවදිය. Debt equity ratio. ඒගොල්ලෝ බලනවා මේගොල්ලෝ දැනනමත් කොච්චරක් loan අරන්ද. තව අපි loan දුන්නොත් මොකද අපිට වෙන්නේ? Therefore debt equity ratio, debt capital divided by equity capital. Next one. It is given calculate the value by adding profit before tax plus interest expense for each year. Profit before tax already calculated plus interest. First one, calculate loan interest also. Bank loan it has given each year 50,000. Try to calculate loan interest also. Loan interest for the year end 31st March 20 as well as 21. Loan interest for 30th March 2020, 21 and 20. It has given end of the date 30th September, 30th March, not 31st. Therefore, interest should be calculated. Loan will be equal 50,000 and given percentage also. Therefore, 50,000 into 20%. Loan interest can be calculated. Loan interest Loan value equal 50,000, based on that value 20%. Therefore, loan interest equal 10,000. Each is same value. Reason loan value same. 30th March 2020, 120 also same. Loan value is not changed, but given interest rate 20%. Therefore, loan interest equal 10,000. Profit before tax already calculated. Then they calculate the value of profit before tax plus interest. Each year. Profit before tax plus interest each year can be calculated. Profit before tax plus interest. Profit before tax calculated plus interest. Take the answer each year. Profit before tax calculated plus interest. For the year in 31st March 2021, interest as well as profit before tax calculated. Profit before tax equal 31st March 21, 100,000. And interest equal 31st March 21, 10,000. Therefore, 31st March 21, profit before tax equal 100,000. 100,000 plus 10,000. And calculate for the year end 31st March 20 also. Profit before tax calculated, it is equal 40,000 plus interest same value 10,000. Therefore, 40,000 plus 10,000. Take answer profit before tax plus interest. It is relevant for interest coverage ratio calculation. Interest coverage ratio calculation. Profit before tax plus interest divided by interest. The last one they ask percentage. Present the answer obtained by dividing there's profit before tax plus interest, that is interest coverage ratio. Therefore, here there's interest coverage ratio. Interest coverage ratio. Right, try to calculate interest coverage ratio. Profit before tax plus interest divided by interest. Therefore, write the equation also. Interest coverage ratio equal profit before tax plus interest. Profit before tax plus interest. Profit before tax plus interest divided by interest. This is interest expense. They are divided by interest expense. Interest coverage ratio. Think about liquidity ratios. So leverage ratio, debt ratio, debt equity ratio, and interest coverage ratio. Calculate both here for the year end 31st March 21 as well as for the year end 31st March 20. Profit before tax calculated, interest also calculated. Profit before tax plus interest value calculated divided by interest. Interest each value equal 10,000. Therefore, profit before tax equal for the year end 31st March 21, 110,000 divided by 10,000. 11 times. Profit before tax plus interest divided by interest. Business then calculate for the year end 31st March 20 also. 31st March 2020. Profit before tax equal 50,000 plus interest divided by interest. 50,000 plus interest expense divided by interest expense. Think how to calculate interest coverage ratio. Therefore, 50,000 plus 10,000 equals 60,000 divided by interest 10,000. Interest coverage ratio. Therefore, 60,000 divided by 10,000. Here, interest coverage ratio equal. It has given directly profit before tax plus interest. Here, 50,000 divided by 10,000. There is a mistake here. Given directly. Then take the answers. Profit before tax plus interest calculated divided by interest, then 5 times. Interest coverage ratio. Profit before tax plus interest divided by interest. Think about leverage ratio. Leverage means ability to settle long-term liability. Next one, 11 for efficiency ratios. It has given following information were obtained from the financial statement of Amal PLC. It has given financial year end 31st March 21. Accounting period, it has given end of the year 31st March 21. Those are relevant for efficiency ratios. Given inventory opening closing balance and debtor also given opening closing balance. 1st April 2020 and 31st March 21. Trade receivable and inventory opening and closing balance is given. And credit sales it has given. Purchase also given. Opening inventory, closing inventory it has given. Therefore, by using those information, can be calculated cost of sales also. Cost of sales also can be calculated. Cost of sales. That first one, they ask calculate the cost of sales. Opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. Think about how to calculate cost of sales. Opening stock. It has given opening mean 1st April 2020. Opening stock equal to 8,000 plus purchase. And purchase value is given 208,000 minus closing stock. Closing stock mean 31st March 2021. Therefore, closing stock equal 30,000. Take the answers. Cost of sales can be calculated. Opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. Therefore, opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock, cost of sales equal to 200,000. Think how to calculate cost of sales. Opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. Next one, there's average stock. Average inventory equal opening inventory plus closing inventory divided by 2. Given 31st March 21 and 1st April 20. Calculate the average stock. Opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. Think what opening mean 1st April 20 and closing mean 31st March 21. Try to calculate average stock. Opening inventory equal to 20,000 plus closing inventory 31st March 21 value equal 30,000. Opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2, that is average stock. Therefore, here average stock equal 25,000. average stock, it is relevant for inventory turnover ratio calculation. Next one, there's calculate inventory turnover ratio. Think about inventory turnover ratio equal cost of sales divided by average stock. Write the equation also. Inventory turnover ratio equal cost of sales divided by average stock. Cost of sales divided by average stock equal inventory turnover ratio. Inventory turnover is equal cost of sales divided by average stock. Cost of sales calculated and average stock also calculated. Take the answers. Cost of sales equal to 1000 and average stock equal 25,000. Cost of sales divided by average stock equal inventory turnover ratio. Therefore, 200,000 equal cost of sales and average stock also calculated. Therefore, here inventory turnover ratio. Again, purchase करना, sell करना, purchase करना, sell करना वागे की पारक विनवाद आवृत्त 8 times. Inventory turnover ratio වැඩි වෙන එක හොඳයි business එකේ. For increased efficiency, turnover ratio should be increased. And they are calculate the inventory obtained periods. There are two equations can be applied. Inventory obtained period, two equation can be applied. First one 365. Normally, here write down assumptions. 360 days per annum. This is assumptions. Normal 365 days available, but for calculation, for this calculation, it has given normally 360 days per annum. It has given example. $365 days per annum. Assumptions. सामान अपने exam के देने 360 days, 65 ने वे देने सामान. Calculate the inventory obtained periods. There are two equations. First one 360 days. 360 days divided by inventory turnover ratio. Inventory turnover ratio. $360 days divided by inventory turnover ratio. Take the answers. 360 days divided by inventory turnover ratio equal inventory obtained periods. Therefore, 360, take the answers. And inventory turnover ratio equal 8 times. Now take the answers. 360 divided by 8. 360 days. දවස් කීයක් යනවද inventory obtained periods. ඒ කියන්නේ purchase කරපුවා විකුණනකන් දවස් කොච්චර කාල තියෙනවද store එකේ? 45 days. Therefore, calculate the inventory obtained period. 45 days. 45 days. Inventory obtained periods. 360 days divided by inventory turnover ratio. Inventory turnover ratio already calculated. And there are two equations can be applied. Two equation. Next one. 360 into average stock divided by cost of sales. Right, the next equation also. There are two equations can be applied to calculate inventory obtained periods. Next one, 360 days into average stock into average stock divided by cost of sales. Divided by cost of sales. Think about inventory obtain period can be calculated by using two equations. 360 days. Normally the examination purpose it is given 360 days per annum. And average stock also calculated divided by cost of sales. Take the answer. $360 days into average stock. It has calculated 25,000 and divided by cost of sales. Cost of sales is equal to 1,000. But same answer. 360 into 25,000 divided by 200,000. 45 days. Think about inventory obtain periods. It means from purchase date to sales date. How many dates available inventory? Inventory obtain periods. Next one, they ask calculate average data. Those are relevant for data turnover ratio calculation. Opening data plus closing data divided by 2. Average data can be calculated opening plus closing. Think about data balance. It has given first April 2020 and 21. Therefore, opening data plus closing data divided by 2. Opening data balance equal 30,000. Closing data balance equal 50,000. Therefore, 30,000 plus 50,000 divided by 2. Therefore, here total money equal 80,000 divided by 2 equal 40,000. This is the way you have to calculate average. There's average data. Next one, calculate data turnover ratio. Data turnover ratio. What does it mean in purchase karno, sale karno? Next, data again, vikunano salli hambeno. Vikunanwa salli hambeno wage key warak venada. Avuruddak athuladu. Therefore, data turnover ratio equal credit sales divided by average data. Credit sales divided by average data equal data turnover ratio. Credit sales it has given. Take the answers and average data also calculated. Data turnover ratio. Credit sales equal 400,000 divided by average data equal 40,000. Therefore, take the answers 10 times. You can avuruddak athulada nayata vikunano salli hambeno. Nayata vikunano salli hambeno wage 10 times වෙනවා. ඒවා වැඩි වෙන හොඳයි. In the efficiency point of view. Therefore, 10 times. Credit sales divided by average rate. And debt collection periods. again sale කරපු date එක ඉඳලා සල්ලි හම්බ වෙන කොච්චර කාලයක් යනවා. Also two equation. First one 360 days. days divided by data turnover ratio. Data turnover ratio. But there are two equations can be applied to calculate debt collection periods. 360 days divided by data turnover ratio. Take the answers. 360 that is the dates divided by debtor turnover ratio. Therefore, 360 divided by debtor turnover ratio 10 times. Therefore, answer equals 36 dates. From sales. Think about sales date. විකුණපු දවස් ඉඳලා සල්ලි හම්බෙන්නේ මෙච්චර දවස් ගණක් යනවා බලන්න. Debt collection periods. It can be calculated by using two equations. Second equation 360 dates into average debtor divided by cost of sales. So divide average debtor divide by produce sales. Debt collection period can be calculated by using two equations. 360 days into average debtor divided by produce sales. Take the answers. 360 into average debtor. Average debtor value calculated. It is equal 40,000 divided by produce sales. Divided by produce sales and given produce sales value equal 400,000. Ratio analysis. Therefore, 360 into 40 divided by 400,000. Same answer, 36 dates. 36 dates. Think how to calculate efficiency ratios. Debtor turnover ratio as well as inventory turnover ratio, debt collection period and inventory obtain periods. Ratio analysis is also very important. Think about CVP analysis. Contribution per units equal selling price minus variable cost, and break even point quantity equal total fixed cost divided by contribution per units. මතකද කියලා බලන්න පොඩ්ඩක් මේවා. Then contribution to sales ratio. How to calculate CS ratio? Contribution per unit divided by selling price into 100. Think how to calculate VS ratio. VS ratio means variable cost to sales ratio. Variable cost divided by selling price into 100. Then think how to calculate break even point value. Break even point quantity equal total fixed cost divided by contribution per units. How to calculate break even point value? අනෝ equation ටික හැමදාම මතක් කරගන්න. Ratio analysis part එකයි, CVP analysis ටිකයි, stock level ටිකයි and accounting rate of return. ඒවා හැමදාම මතක් කරගන්න. Break even point quantity can be calculated total fixed cost divided by contribution per units. But break even point value equal total fixed cost divided by CS ratio. Break even point value can be calculated by using two equations. First one, total fixed cost divided by CS ratio, or break even point quantity into selling price. Break even point value. Two equations can be applied. And think about margin of safety quantity and margin of safety value. Margin of safety means beyond the BP. Therefore, margin of safety quantity can be calculated expected sales quantity minus break even point quantity beyond the BP. And break even point value can be calculated by using two equations. Expected sales value minus break even point value, or margin of safety quantity into selling price. Margin of safety value can be calculated by using two equations. First one, expected sales value minus break even point value. Second one, margin of safety quantity into selling price. margin of safety value can be calculated by using two equations. And think profit calculation, total income minus total expense, as well as total contribution minus total fixed cost. Margin of safety quantity into contribution per units. Margin of safety value into CS ratio. Think what A load paper they ask like this question also. Relevant for CVP analysis. Think about this one. This is the way you have to present. Think about CVP analysis. Here this side quantity, this side quantity available, quantity, and here value, cost or value, cost or revenue, think what fixed cost. When quantity increase or decrease, total fixed cost not change. This is the way you have to draw total fixed cost. When quantity increase or decrease, total fixed cost not change. Therefore, this is a TFC, total fixed cost. But average fixed cost decrease proportionately. When quantity increase, average fixed cost like that, decrease, continuously decrease when quantity increase. If this is the total fixed cost, this is the average fixed cost. AFC, when quantity increase or decrease, total fixed cost not change, but average fixed cost continuously decrease. But think about variable cost. When quantity increase or decrease, think about variable cost. Quantity and value for cost. This side quantity. They ask in the paper. Here value for cost. Think when quantity increase. When quantity increase, think what is equate for total variable cost. Here 0. Total variable cost start from 0. This is the way total variable cost. This is a TFC. So TVC, total variable cost. But think about average variable cost. When quantity increase or decrease, average variable cost not change. Therefore, this is the average variable cost. ABC, quantity වැඩි වුණත් අඩු වුණත් එකකට යන ගාන වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. This is average variable cost. Think about total fixed cost, total variable cost. Think about average fixed cost and average variable cost. Unit variable cost. It is not dependent on quantity. And total fixed cost also like that. When quantity increase or decrease, total fixed cost not change. Graphical presentation also they ask. There are 16 lessons available. And think about standards, accounting concepts. Think about organization. Think about financial account and management accounts. Think our duty. In accounting, we are going to provide information. Now think about all the lessons together. Example, company cash flow ratio analysis. Think about together. And think about organization. So sole proprietorship, partnership, company, not for profit making organization. Then think about share issues. Think about goodwill adjustment, admission retirements, service business, trading business, incomplete records. Then reconciliation, error correction, very important. Band reconciliation, as well as accounting equation part, very, very important. Normally question number 3 error paper, accounting equation. Last 2 papers 2019 and 20, it has given 40 marks for accounting equation also. Right, ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා අහන්න බලන්න. MCQ important, MCQ. Right, ප්‍රශ්න නැත්නම් අපි ඊළඟ දවසේ යමු class එකේ Friday. Good night.